Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds.
Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous two-year contracts, they said, "What the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass?" So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month.
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Don't miss out on the final football game of the season with Prize Picks. Join now because Prize Picks are giving away a free pick for the big game where 1 yard equals 1 win. Just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks app and use code FIELD and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code FIELD on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Hey Atlanta, say hello to Small Business Help from Apple. That's right, we're here to make starting and running your business simpler. From helping you choose the right devices to setting them up hassle-free, we can help you build your business in no time. Speak to a business expert and get the help you need at no cost whatsoever. At Apple, we're open for your small business. Go to apple.com/smallbusiness or visit an Apple store to learn more.
They say you can't tell a book from its cover, but to paraphrase, you also can't always tell a movie by its title. Take epic movie, for example. They didn't lie about one of those words. It is a movie. Whether it's epic or not remains to be seen. The even bigger question, though, is if epic movie is not that bad. Welcome one and all to It's Not That Bad, the podcast that looks for A grades in B movies, and a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network. Hello to all of our listeners in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and around the world. How you guys doing? I hope you're enjoying the show so far this calendar year of 2025, and I want to remind you all that if you're looking to rep the show, we do have merch on our website, so if you want to help support us, that would be fantastic. We got t-shirts, we got notebooks, we have a bath mat, because everyone, well, by everyone I mean no one, but no one needs a bath mat. But here, we're about to go big. And when I say big, I mean epic. And when I say epic, I mean epic movie. And here to join me, my epically awesome wife, my lovely wife, Carrie. Carrie, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks for inviting me to this epic adventure.
Right?
And by the way, if you want to pimp your crib,
welcome to my crib.
Then you need to have
the bath mat.
The bath mat.
There can only be one bath mat. Which I'm sorry if you wanted and it's not that bad bath mat. We can only give you the there can only be one bath mat. But really, what house isn't complete without the there can only be one bath mat?
Merchandising,
right? If yogurt taught us anything, it's merchandising. Okay, so we're about to have a little bit of fun over the next little while because we're going to be tackling a few movies.
Oh, I was to assume that this was super serious.
Oh, yes, we're going to be dealing with a film of such cinematic proportions. It can only be described as epic. Which I'm sure that's exactly how they pitched it. Probably. But no, when I say movies, we're obviously talking about your mega parody films, which of course started with Scary Movie and then never learned to quit. So today, we've covered one in the past. We did talk about superhero movie, but today we're talking about epic movie. And I'm going to ask you right off the bat, because we watched the trailer and all of a sudden Carrie's like, oh my God, we have to watch this. So I'm going to ask you, since you were the one who volunteered as tribute, like you were Katniss Everdeen in this, do you now regret your life choices?
Not at all. Nope, this movie was fun.
Okay.
I have no regrets.
Dear listeners, when my wife truly loves a film, one must question the quality of that film.
I have no regrets, like Cal Penn's tattoo.
No regrets.
In the movie.
Isn't that 50 Cent's tattoo?
It was a 50
It was
cent
50 Cent tattoo.
Or the Thug Life
Okay.
etching that.
So, dear
yeah.
listeners, by the way, this film came out in 2007. So, spoilers like a mofo.
But to be fair, I only just saw it like 24 hours ago.
Yes, it took about 15 years to get around to this. Or do the math. No, I'm not going to do the math. No, 18 years. I can maths clearly. All right. We're going to go epic on this one. But before we do, it is time to epically trailerize it.
Year after year, Hollywood brings to the silver screen a cavalcade of mind-blowing, heart-pumping, adrenaline-spiking movies that can only be described with one word: epic. Now, from the duo that put movie into the title of almost everything they do, like a yellow post-it note to identify their hellspawn, comes Epic Movie, the cinematic equivalent of a crappy imitation of a Weird Al Yankovic polka song. Enter four orphans who look nothing alike. Together, they'll stroll through an MTV-ified knockoff Narnia and try to overthrow Stifler's mom. And if you're feeling like your mind can't wrap your head around all of that, well, just wait. The brownie should kick in soon enough. Along the way, they'll meet Kirkland brand versions of the X-Men, Captain Jack Sparrow, Willy Wonka, Harry Potter, and more profitable characters from the early 2000s. Riding the coattails of better films, it's Epic Movie, starring Cal Penn, Jayla Mays, Fawn Chambers, and Adam Campbell. Rated PG-13 for parodies galore.
Let's get into this. The movie stars Cal Penn, Adam Campbell, Fawn Chambers, Jayla Mays, Jennifer Coolidge, Tony Cox, Hector Jimenez, Crispin Glover, Daryl Hammond, Carmen Electra, David Carradine, Kevin McDonald, Fred Willard, and so many more people. Written and directed by Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer. Now, they actually wrote the very first Scary Movie, and they also wrote Spy Hard starring Leslie Nielsen. This is actually the second film they have directed. The first one we're going to talk about in another week. Done, done, done. By the way, it should be noted, and this is, I saw this note and I'm just like, you know what, that's really kind of sweet. So Jayla Mays and Adam Campbell, who played Peter, actually got married after working on this movie together. They are still married today.
But weren't they brother and sister?
Yes.
That's awkward.
Awkward. Well, I mean,
only in Narnia can you get away with that.
Well, I mean, if Aaron Taylor Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen can go from playing brother and sister in Age of Ultron to playing husband and wife in Godzilla, okay, why not? It could happen.
Aw, that is a sweet story.
It is a sweet story. All right. The thing is, though, this movie made bank. Made on a $20 million budget. Domestically, it made $39.7 million. Worldwide, $87 million. When it was released on the January 26th, 2007 weekend, and I feel so old in saying that already, it debuted at number one with $18.6 million. The number two film that week was one we've covered as well, Smokin' Aces. And debuting at number 5 was Catch and Release. But of course, we can't talk about a film like this without talking about the accolades. He says with quotation fingers. At the 2007 Internet Film Critics Society Awards, it won for Worst Film of the Year. At the 2007 Golden Schmoes Awards, it won for Worst Movie of the Year. Do you see a trend here? And at the 2008 Razzies, nominated for Worst Remake or Ripoff, lost to I Know Who Killed Me starring Lindsay Lohan. Nominated for Worst Screenplay, lost to I Know Who Killed Me. And Carmen Electra was nominated for Worst Supporting Actress, lost to Eddie Murphy for his role as Rasputia in Norbit, a film I have covered, and I wish I could unsee that film. Still, Still feeling that one. And as we have done in the past, we have once again taken a trip down Wikipedia lane because this film is on the list of films considered to be the worst of all time. So before I give you the aggravated aggregate, Carrie, is this deserving of being on the list of films considered to be the worst of all time?
I disagree. I am curious what it's sitting at. What do the critics say?
Let's take them to the board. All right. At Rotten Tomatoes, and the reason why we are here, because critics suck. At Rotten Tomatoes, the popcorn meter sits at 29%. The tomatometer, 2.
Oh.
2%.
That's harsh. But I'm more surprised at the audience score.
29%?
Yeah, that's low.
I have a theory on this, and we'll get to that in a little bit, but I have a theory on this, and it makes sense. But let's get a wider picture of the scores. Over at Metacritic, the film has a Metascore of 17. At IMDb, it sits at 2.4 stars, giving this a 24% score. At Letterboxd, it sits at 1.3 out of 5 stars, giving this a 26%. And over at the Movie Database, it sits at a very generous 39%. So I'm either really curious as to what the hell they're smoking over at the Movie Database, or who pooped on the Cheerios of the critics over at Rotten Tomatoes, because that's a bit of a stretch to go from a 2% film for the critics to a 39% over at the Movie Database. So this film has an aggravated aggregate of 22.83%. Does that seem fair to you?
It's still low, but all I can say is, like, what did you expect? You know, it's very much in line with, again, the Scream or the spoof movies. So if you're looking for Academy Award-winning performances,
no one's going to these films for, like, you know, gravitas and thespian-like acting. No.
But I mean, you have to go into it expecting, like, silly humor and, like, dumb laughs. Like, what else are you expecting?
Good laughs. I say that.
And they're good laughs.
I say that. But I know I do have some good things to say about this film. Because remember, that's why we're here. We're supposed to say the good things about the film.
Exactly.
Okay.
Bring it on.
If fashion is your thing, eBay is it. eBay's where I find all my favorites, from handbags to iconic streetwear, all authenticated. For real. This time, a little Supreme, some Gucci. I even have that vintage Prada on my watch list. That's why eBay's my go-to for all my go-tos. Yeah, eBay. The place for new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion. eBay. Things people love.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon. Sometimes the most painful part of getting sick is the getting better part. Waiting on hold for an appointment, sitting in crowded waiting rooms, standing in line at the pharmacy. That's painful. Amazon One Medical and Amazon Pharmacy remove those painful parts of getting better with things like 24/7 virtual visits and prescriptions delivered to your door. Thanks to Amazon Pharmacy and Amazon One Medical, healthcare just got less painful.
Since you're new to H&R Block, we'll look at your returns from the last 3 years for any money your last guy might have missed for free.
I could get money back from last year?
You could. We'll find any mistakes.
Could have really used that 2 years ago when I dated that mistake for 5 months.
Don't leave money on the table. Switch to H&R Block and get a free Second Look review. Second Look is included at no additional cost with the purchase of tax preparation. Results vary. All tax situations are different. Fees apply if you have us file an amended return.
Let's start with Cal Penn, who starred as Edward. Arguably the biggest name in the cast at the time because Harold and Kumar exists.
Which I loved.
Right?
That they completely gave a nod to.
Not once, but twice.
I know. They hit the White Castle. Hey, I've been there.
Right? I feel like I've been there before. But that's the thing. That's where these films really excel, because you can kind of make those jokes.
Yeah, but you know what, though? I was watching this movie not so much for like the big plot, but the hidden.
Wait, there's a big plot?
The hidden Easter eggs.
Yes.
Like, exactly, like the Willy Wonka golden ticket to the epic adventure. White Castle, and like making, no attempt at being highbrow of the humor and still throwing it in, like,
oh yeah, no,
that nod to.
At no point in the history of ever should anyone walk into a movie with any idea that this is going to be some like deep, profound plot. I mean, the main story is very simple and easy to follow, but you go to the movies because it's, and I kind of joked about it during the trailer eyes. You pick up that Weird Al Yankovic album because you want to hear the polka and you want to hear what songs he put in the polka. You go to a movie because you want to see what movies they're kind of riffing on and making fun of. That's the beauty of these films. So clearly, if you're going to put Kal Penn in here, fresh, hot off the heels of Harold and Kumar, you're gonna make a Kumar joke, right? It's going to happen. But the thing is, he gave you exactly what you wanted. That's the thing. You're not going to put Kal Penn in there in a movie like this, even though Kal Penn is a very good actor when you take him outside the goofy comedy role, but he gave you exactly what you wanted. They treated him as they should have.
You know what I would have liked to have seen, though, is if they had some kind of like a medical emergency and he busted out of his role from House.
I mean, the thing is that House kind of happened at the same time, because he started getting main roles in season 4 and 5, which was in 2007. So I don't know when they were filming, they already knew about that. I mean, prior to that, he had been in a few different TV series and episodes. He did actually appear in an episode of ER. So there was that. But I mean, it's hard to kind of get over, the Harold and Kumar thing. I mean, also, yeah, he was in Dude, Where's the Party? He was also in Van Wilder, but I mean, nothing really stood out like Harold and Kumar prior to this. And that House was basically, had they done Epic Movie like a year later, yeah, they're going to make a House joke as well, I think. But, you had to basically call the elephant in the room. You had to make that kind of reference. I also find it kind of funny that they made a Superman Returns joke with the other guy, with Peter, but Kal Penn was actually in Superman Returns. Speaking of Peter, let's talk about Adam Campbell. No, he's not Kal Penn. He doesn't have, the filmography going into this that he does. But if Peter's supposed to be the boy who should be king, right? The one who's going to help overthrow the white bitch and lead everyone to greater times, they didn't really give him much to do. I mean, he gets slapped around a lot kind of thing. The funniest scene with him, aside from that Superman Returns cameo where he gets shot right in the eye, is when he's getting Mystique to change shape because King wants a unibrow. Right? And some bingo wings.
Flabby bingo wings.
Flabby bingo wings.
Oh my God.
Also, I didn't realize that was a term, but still, here we are. But, I mean, if he's supposed to be the main guy, give him more to do.
You know what, though? I kept wondering the chicken feathers. Was that something bigger? Like, did I miss something, or was that just?
I'm kind of missing that because, I mean, yes, there is Angel, a member of the X-Men, who does have wings. Warren Worthington, who is slightly British as well. And I can kind of see if they were going with that, but then it became a thing like, okay, so all of a sudden he grows these chicken wings and starts to run away. My first thought was, are they making a spoof off of Angel? I'm like, okay, that's kind of an obscure, or at least more obscure X-Men character that I don't know why you're making that joke, but okay. But yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand that part. What's with the chicken wings?
Yeah, I thought it was something that I might have missed, but
No. When your best line in a film is badonkadonk. But can we take a second here? because I think the problem with Peter is going to be the problem with a lot of other people coming up. So let me get this out now. So, dear listeners, for those of you who are waiting to see when the Snickers bar need was going to come into play, get your Snicker bars ready because it's time. Every single good joke in this film is in the trailer. I'm watching this like, seen it. There's not enough in between the gags that were in the trailer to make this film worth beyond watching the trailer. Am I being too harsh here?
I think you are, because there were still some surprising moments that I didn't see coming.
Not many.
No, but there were a few.
The best gags were in the trailer. Again, maybe I'm just hating because, like, I get that there are some trailers that are really good and they don't give away the plot. Very, very much so. This one literally served up everything that you needed in a 3-minute serving. Which kind of, it takes the fun away. Like, even a film like Strays or The Rundown, yeah, they gave a bit away during the trailers, but there was still stuff. They were, when you come up to them, it's like, oh dear God. I thank God this was, like, you're supposed to make the people laugh, but if they've seen everything already, they're not going to laugh. They're not. So this isn't hate on the directors, and this isn't hate on the actors or the plot or anything. But dear trailer editors, stop giving me the whole movie. Please. I want to enjoy myself at the theater. There we go. I'm done.
You okay?
I'm good now. I'm good. I feel like this is turned into a therapy session every now and then. Like
sometimes.
Sometimes movie does bad thing and I need to point out where it touched me. That's kind of where we've gotten to at this point. Jayma Mays, who played Lucy. I mean, I always love her.
She's adorable.
She's absolutely adorable.
Oh my God.
Right? But your thoughts on her?
Well, I thought she was great. Like, I really enjoyed it. And I thought she was quite funny. And yet she's kind of like the underdog with the four of them. Even though she seems to be, you know, the not the main character, but she was the first to step into this world of Narnia and to enter through the closet. You know what? I thought she was so perfectly naive, and yet she was a force, like just a comedic force.
I mean, when it comes to this kind of slapstick humor, you want someone who's going to be able to, you know, go with the slapstick humor, go with the rolls, go with the punches, kick the beaver. It's all good, right? Yes, I said kick the beaver. You're welcome.
Are we still fighting?
But I mean, I will say that the whole joke of her repeating everything Susan says, that they overkilled that one, especially because there was no resolution. Like Susan would say something and then Lucy would say it, and all Susan would do would be like roll her eyes. Again,
that was just the naivety of her character.
No, but we needed Susan to react to make that joke work. It just became annoying. And again, not on Jayma Mays. It's just the writing. I wanted more. I wanted more for Jayma Mays out of this, because she is good and she is funny. And, you know, she was a gem in the Smurfs. She was a gem in everything I've seen her in. But her best part was like drop kicking the beaver. Same thing for Fawn Chambers, who played Susan. So this is the last of the four siblings. This is the one who would say something and then Lucy would say the same thing. They gave her like nothing to do at all.
Well, that's not true. She did, you know, drink the entire keg and then proceeded to vomit over everybody.
Which I'm sure you loved.
Oh, I had to turn away for that.
Yeah. On the vomit scale of 1 to 10, how much did this one hit you?
It was pretty bad. I mean, I turned away, so I kind of missed the whole scene. But was that really why everybody stood them up? Why, like nobody came to fight for them?
Well, the thing is, when they
At least in the beginning.
when they went back to save Edward, and then Aslo was killed at the White Bitch's castle, they kind of acted like they were the cause of Aslo dying, and now it was up to them. But they were like, yeah, no, but yeah. I don't know. I just, again, I felt like Lucy and Susan kind of got the short end of the script stick on this.
I don't know. I mean, she had the whole scene on the plane.
See, and okay, I'm going to rage again here. Just bear with me here.
Oh no.
So again, these movies are best when they're giving you like tons of references, like chock-a-block full of references, right? But some of these little mini sketches within the film kind of felt like bad Saturday Night Live kind of sketches that you just want to end fast. The whole snakes on a plane, Samuel L. Jackson repeating himself because that's what the kids on the internet like. No, that was one of the worst Samuel L. Jackson impersonations I think I've seen.
Okay, I'll agree with that one.
Yeah.
But there was the whole Nacho Libre.
Oh, the guy
scene that was fun.
That was good. That was good. See, the snakes on a plane one annoyed the crap out of me. The Nacho Libre one was really good. Like that's the thing. This one's kind of hit and miss with where they were putting their spots in, and I felt it was. If I'm going to be ever gracious with a term, this was an uneven movie because you had good moments and good parodies, and then you had snakes on a plane.
I like the crossover though with the X-Men. Or at least with Peter's high school mates.
Yep. Which, by the way, the high school that they filmed that at is the same high school used as Rydell High in Greece.
Oh, really?
Yep. Well, let's get to some of the other characters here away from the main ones. Hector Jimenez, who played Mr. Tumnus, the fawn.
Aw. So much fun. Oh my God, I love this character. So much. Like the whole Cribs of Narnia thing was just freaking hilarious.
Right. The funny thing is too, right? You're going to get to a point where people are going to start to watch this and discover these films who weren't around when MTV was doing Cribs and be like, what the hell is this? I think some of these references are kind of dated already. Like the whole stretch where Paris Hilton would be like, that's hot. Like now that's not happening, right? That's so back then. That's the problem with some of these parody movies.
I don't know. They came back with Another Simple Life.
Did they?
They did. But I don't think I don't think they, for lack of a better term, I don't think they came back as dumb or ditzy. They're still, they're still Paris and Nicole, but anyway, I digress.
I mean, here's the thing too. Mr. Tumnus is the one character that really drives the plot the most. Well, second character that drives the plot the most. There's two main characters that drive the plot. Mr. Tumnus and Harry Beaver. Those are the two ones that are kind of keeping the story going forward while everyone else kind of sits in parody land. But I liked what they did with him. I mean, the makeup was good, right? The prosthetics were good. The Scarface riff, with Tony Fontana. Like, okay, this was those were fun. Those were fun. So I liked him. I liked him and he wasn't overacting or anything. He was pitch perfect for a half man, half goat.
When she shines my hoof. Oh.
Yeah.
Woo. That was hilarious. Okay, watch the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no amount of us sitting here going woo and sighing exasperatedly that can really convey some of these films. So, I mean, even though we do tend to spoil these films, and I do apologize for those of you who would rather not listen to us and then just go watch the film. But even if you have listened to us talk about a film that you haven't seen, I highly recommend to still go see the film, because nothing that couple Canadians, one of us an idiot, it's me, hi, I'm the idiot, it's me, in a basement with microphones, nothing that we say should ever stop you from watching these films for yourself and then seeing if you agree with us or not, right? Not that we're any great bastions of movie opinion, nor should we be. We like to watch movies, have fun, and talk about them. just like you guys do. So even if you haven't seen the film and now you're listening to us and now you're thinking, maybe I should go see the film. If that's the only thing you take away from these conversations, aside from a good laugh, go watch the film. That's the only thing I would say. At the end of the day, go watch the film. Jennifer Coolidge as the white bitch.
I love that they made absolutely no attempt to hide that it was Stifler's mom.
No, should they?
It was hilarious.
It's Jennifer Coolidge.
It's all of those little things, those little nods to,
American Pie.
Well, yeah, but to like the other roles and
again,
other movie properties.
As it should be. But I feel, and maybe you'll agree with me on this one, aside from the fact that, yes, it is Stifler's mom, I feel like her name is the funniest thing about her character.
But you know what, though? She was so perfectly like the white bitch. Like, she was perfect.
Yeah, I don't know if you want someone going completely like Rage Karen in a big white gown.
No. She had to be kind of like sexy, sadistic, and just a bitch. And she played it well. Not saying that she is. I'm sure she's a lovely person.
Yeah.
But she played it well. Like, it was exactly what you would expect of the role.
I think the other thing, too, is that you have Jennifer Coolidge, who has proven herself to be a very good actress and very funny. And you didn't give her much to work with.
No, but she quite often gets typecast into like the sexy blonde.
Yeah, I mean, I'll admit I have not watched The White Lotus with her in it, but she does. She gets typecast as a MILF. And, if it works, great. But give her some meat to eat, And I'm talking about the role here. I'm talking about the roles. I'm talking about the script.
Or shine your hoof.
Shine your hoof. There you go. Tony Cox, who played Bink, the servant to the white bitch.
He just makes me laugh. Oh my God.
Take that, Kumar.
I loved him with the baseball bat. And, he was a force.
See, again, here's what you do. When you have someone like Tony Cox, who is very good at what he does, you let him side-eye everyone and talk crass and take a baseball bat and take people out at the knees. You let Tony Cox do that because he's very good at it. And that's the thing. I enjoyed Tony Cox's part more than I liked the white bitch because they gave him more fun stuff to do, whether it be like the physical comedy or just like those one-off comments. Tony Cox got the better parts of the script. Crispin Glover, who played Willy Wonka.
Oh my God. Well, you know what? They had to do that because of the golden ticket.
Right?
And that was the unifying force that brought these four orphans together as a family.
Yeah.
Ooh, spoilers. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well, again, we did warn them. Mm-hmm. We warned all our dear listeners at the top of the show. Crispin Glover as Willy Wonka may have been the funniest impersonation of a parodied character.
Oh, I'm going to disagree.
For me, he was. It's Crispin Glover. We're talking McFly. Crispin Glover is brilliant. And he takes this role on so earnestly, I would say. And he makes Willy Wonka the absolute creepy character that he kind of is.
Well, that is true.
Right? But that's the thing. You watch it, right? And like as weird as Johnny Depp was, Crispin Glover made it weirder. And I think that was for the betterment of it. Like, and that whole scene at the chocolate factory where it's like a chocolate river. No, that's the sewage tank. It's like, yes. But again, that scene was also in the trailer too. I'm trying not to rip on the trailer editors, but it's gonna be hard.
Oh,
but I loved this parody part of it. Like this was one of the better segment parodies.
Okay. I have a question for you then.
Okay.
As an editor, give me a 10-second cut What scenes get involved in the trailer?
None of them.
So what do you put in 10 seconds? I think if I were to cut it, I would quickly introduce the 4 characters, but not give too much.
I wouldn't even show a single damn scene out of the film. And if I was going to do a single scene, it would just be like a very, very quick, like 5-second montage of things and people getting hit. That's it. Like, start the whole trailer. And I'm talking like a 30-second cut here, right? Pirates of the Caribbean. Epic, but not epic enough. Willy Wonka. Not enough. Harry Potter. Magical, but is it epic? No. If you want a bigger epic movie, cut to the quick hits montage and then coming to theaters January 2007. That's all you need. You don't need to spoil anything. Just have a quick people getting slapped and kicked and hit montage. Boom. That's it. That's all you need.
I disagree, though. I mean, you need to set up the world that they're including these different movies.
But I think
people are going to buy the tickets. Like, when I saw the trailer, I'm like, oh, they rip on Harry Potter. I am so watching this.
But the thing is, you can say that you're ripping on Harry Potter, but you don't need to show it. I want that surprise.
Yeah, but it was so funny.
It was funny. Yes.
I'm Harry Potter.
Right? Which, with Kevin McDonald as Harry Potter, George Alvarez as Ron Weasley, and Krista Flanagan as Hermione Granger. Your thoughts on their little side trip to Hogwarts?
Oh, I'm supposed to say nice things.
You just said
How could
it was
they?
so good, and then we get to Hogwarts.
I know, but this is personal. No, you know what? It was funny. I will say that I am hurt and I disagree with what they did to Hermione. They did Hermione dirty. And Hermione's not dirty.
I was about to say, this Hermione looked pretty dirty.
So wrong.
Right. But Kevin McDonald as Harry Potter.
He was so fun.
I mean, we're talking one of the kids in the hall here.
Yeah.
So, like,
Well
you're
done.
going to, yeah, exactly. Like, pitch perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Pitch perfect. Daryl Hammond is Captain Jack Swallows.
Yes.
No.
Oh my God. This was my favorite. Yeah, my favorite appearance, I would dare say.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it was so funny.
Not better than Crispin Glover.
Even when the white bitch turns on him and he's like, oh, you are a bitch. Like, love it.
See, I felt it was a little over the top.
Oh, but he had to. That's the character.
I mean, I get it's the character. I do.
I think he played it well.
It's one of those things where I didn't like it as much as I like the Willy Wonka one. It's okay, I guess, but it's not. It doesn't top that one. Let's talk about the X-Men. Obviously, we had Carmen Electra, who played Mystique, which I know we're going to talk about Carmen Electra again at some point this year because there's a movie on our whiteboard that we are going to cover, and she's one of the main stars in it. I'm not going to tell you which movie it is. You'll have to wait.
Well, let's talk about her right now. You had mentioned right off the top that she, of all of the actors, was nominated
for Worst Supporting Actress.
The worst. Well, like, she played her role well.
I think,
in fact, very well.
I think the problem is that Carmen Electra, because keep in mind, this is 2007, so this is really before the Smurfs movies have come out and kind of made a name out of Jayma Mays. But this is the most recognizable actress when it comes to, aside from Jennifer Coolidge, a supporting actress. And you've already said that Jennifer Coolidge did her part, but did Carmen Electra as Mystique?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, the whole unibrow, the Britney Spears, like,
yeah,
it was funny.
I think the thing here is that some actors, for whatever reason, get constantly targeted by the Razzies.
And that's exactly it. It was a target because there is not a thing that she did that was out of character.
No.
Or like that she wasn't deserving of at least respect for her role.
You have some movies where literally everyone is going to get nominated because the movie is that bad. And in 2007, that movie was I Know Who Killed Me, starring Lindsay Lohan. Julie Ormond was in that film, and she was nominated for Worst Supporting Actress. And I think that was very much one of those situations where Julie Ormond was just, in the blast radius of the crap canon that was I Know What You Did, or I Know Who Killed Me. Here, though, you have a situation where Carmen Electra is maybe not the most thespian of actresses, but whenever she's in a film, it's actually not that bad. But I think it's one of those things where the Razzies saw Carmen Electra's name on this film, and it didn't do well as far as a critic score goes. So they took a random shot and they got her, and I don't think that's fair.
No, I disagree with it. It is unfair. She was done dirty.
Yeah. It would be like, at the time when she was making a ton of films, Jessica Simpson would always get picked on.
Yep.
And Ashley Simpson as well. And Carmen Electra kind of fit. And Paris Hilton as well.
I was going to say Paris, but I mean, Paris was definitely ripped on in this.
Well, no, Paris was made fun of, but it wasn't really Paris Hilton.
Well, exactly.
But the thing is, give Paris Hilton the right role, and she did good. And if you want proof of that, go listen to episode 50 of this podcast when we actually praise her a lot because of her role in Repo the Genetic Opera. And remember, we'd also talked about Jessica Simpson on this show when we talked about the Dukes of Hazzard, who was pitch perfect for that role. Carmen Electra was a good choice to play Mystique, and she did it well. The prosthetics did her no favors during the badonkadonk scene, but that's a good thing for a comedy film because you want that. And she seems to take these roles with, a really good sense of humor. A really good... Carmen Electra, I think, has probably like an unheralded sense of humor. And again, I know there's a film we're going to be covering this year because I put it on the whiteboard, and we're going to be saying good things about her because it's a damn good film. People are now sitting there going, they're like looking at her IMDb going, what the hell film are they talking about?
I'm literally like, I've seen the whiteboard. I don't.
Oh, it's on there.
Okay.
It's on there.
All right.
But the rest of the X-Men, because I know when Wolverine shows up, you're like, who the hell is that?
I know. I guess even if I have insider information, I still don't know what the hell you're talking about half the time. But no, Wolverine. Remember, I actually started checking IMDb and the cast list as I was watching because I'm like, who is that?
Yeah, whoever the guy they put in as Cyclops, spot on look from the movies, right? I mean, the whole Magneto thing with the magnet on his helmet.
It was funny.
Right? Yeah. And again, like it's kind of a silly parody with that magnet on his helmet. And of course, him getting hit by all the metal things. But I mean, that's what you want out of the X-Men. I think the X-Men were a good parody to put into this because those were epic films at the time when they came out. Fred Willard, who played Aslo. Not there for a long time, but there for a good time. Your thoughts?
As I was watching this, when the character was introduced, I'm like, is that Kurt Russell or is it Wayne Newton? I
have a feeling if Kurt Russell and Wayne Newton had a baby, it might look like Fred Willard in this.
Kind of, a little bit, yeah.
And probably about as hairy.
Or Tom Jones. He's kind of like...
Right now, if Fred Willard is listening to this, he's probably like, dear God, do I look that bad? No, sir, you do not.
Or, no, I'm sorry. Actually, what am I thinking? From Baywatch.
David Hasselhoff?
David Hasselhoff.
You're not getting any better here.
You don't Hasselhoff. That was who I thought it was.
Have you seen the music video for Hooked on a Feeling?
David Hasselhoff. I thought it was David Hasselhoff.
Now every time I watch Epic Movie and Aslo's on the screen, the only thing in my head's going to be ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka.
Right?
No. Damn you for putting that thought in my head. I can never watch this movie again.
Or it's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga.
I was so waiting for it to break into a musical number.
You have single-handedly ruined this movie forever now.
Well, luckily it was, deemed not that great.
I can't fight this feeling. God damn it. I tell you. No, but I think the thing, though, is that the funniest thing about Aslo is really the part where he's not in. It's the fight scene at the White Bitch's castle where they made zero attempt to show that it was the stunt double in there.
Oh my God.
Very Asian looking stunt double. Completely. And I'm just laughing like, oh my God, you're going there. This is brilliant. It actually makes it funnier that you see that it's actually a stunt person.
Oh, it was hilarious. And it was, I mean, it was definitely done by design.
Oh, yeah.
So fun.
Oh, absolutely.
That was a good idea.
Right there. Okay, so there are moments in this film that were not in the trailer, and those are the moments that I laughed the loudest because it was a new laugh for me. That fight scene was nowhere in the trailer, and I guffawed because it was so funny. Okay,
but do you feel that the fight scene, though, was like dragged on a little bit too long? It was a long fight scene.
I mean, a little bit, but I mean, I got it. It was okay. It was fun. I enjoyed it. And again, because it was a new scene, right? I didn't feel like I had already seen it. And that's the kind of scene that could easily be very quickly ruined if you did put it in a trailer, right? I don't even know how you'd put that in a trailer, but I'm glad they didn't because it made it funnier.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouthwatering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Build a routine with Ollie that supports your wellness needs, like getting your daily vitamins and minerals with Ollie's multi-gummies, or keeping your mood upbeat with all the vitamin D in Hello Happy. Give your gut health some support with probiotics, and wake up feeling refreshed after taking Ollie Sleep. Do wellness on your terms. Find Ollie at a Walmart or Target near you or at ollie.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Couple more cameos in here. David Carradine, who played the curator in the Da Vinci Code ripoff, just lying around in his Speedos with some carved in tats.
Thug life.
David Carradine for you.
Oh my God. Well, it wasn't until we saw the credits and you mentioned, oh my God, that was David Carradine. I'm like,
oh, I knew it was David Carradine before the credits. I'm sitting there going like, that's Bill. They killed Bill.
I'm like, he looks familiar, but I was trying to figure out what the hell happened to him. What's going on here?
I don't think you've seen the Da Vinci Code, have you?
No.
See, that's the thing. With a film like this, you have to kind of see all the films that they're making fun of to get the joke. And since I'm saying that now, for the record, David Carradine, he was just funny with his presence alone because it's freaking David Carradine. The central storyline of this film was based on The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe from the Chronicles of Narnia films. A film that did nothing at all. This is a beloved children's book. Chronicles of Narnia. Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And they made it into a big budget film. And it didn't do so well. And it did so poorly that we're all surprised that they actually made the other two films too. Because they did. I haven't watched them. I loved reading The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe growing up. The movie did nothing for me. Every other film in this parody I had seen, and I knew what they were making fun of. Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? Not so much. Did you find a tenuous grasp on the main plot because of that?
You know what? I literally am today years old putting that together that it's the lion and
the witch
the
and the
white
wardrobe.
witch and the wardrobe that mind blown.
But I rest my case.
Oh my God. No, and you know what? I think I went into this movie just for the parody. I went in to see how many movie properties they were going to rip on.
But in doing so, you missed the overarching movie that they were parodying. Right? When we covered Superhero Movie, it was very clear that they were using the Spider-Man story arc as the central pivot point, even though they changed the nature of the creature. But you could tell it's a Spider-Man parody with a bunch of other superheroes parodied along the way. Here, how many people could sit there and say, oh yeah, no, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I love that film. It's great. Really? I'm not saying it's a bad film, but I'm saying it's not a memorable one. And it didn't really, it wasn't epic. That movie was not epic. Had you taken a film like the Harry Potter franchise and made a Harry Potter spoof that also kind of spoofed on other magical films, okay.
Oh, that'd be a bold move.
It would be, but it'd be a good one. But I found that, and the only reason I know that it's that because I read the damn book and I know that the movie exists. That's it. You need a bigger, more recognizable thread that goes throughout. You can parody whatever the hell you want, but the thread has to be recognizable as well. Superhero Movie did it well. This one did not. Danny Jacobs, who played Borat, was he nice?
Oh my God. I am so happy. This was just a small, very tiny part.
All you needed.
Yeah.
And again, you're right. The perfect amount of Borat, which was about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Yep. All you needed. One last role. This is Silas, the self-flagellating albino man in the monk's robe.
Yeah. Creepy AF.
Played by an uncredited Kevin Hart.
What?
Yep.
Whoa. I did not see that coming.
Mm-hmm. Which, once you know it's Kevin Hart, it's kind of funnier.
Yeah. A Kevin Hart role that I don't hate.
But, I mean, here's the thing. I've read the Da Vinci Code. I've watched the Da Vinci Code. This is the one character I'm just like, really? Meh. Just meh. Like, I like the fact that it started off with Lucy in that Da Vinci Code kind of role. Did we really need his character all the way through? It felt extraneous to what Tony Cox brought.
Well, I was kind of like, what's the connection? Like,
there is none.
He was in the first scene.
He was in the first scene.
Where
and then,
Lucy was introduced and then
shows up in Narnia.
Yeah. And he was kind of like, just, I don't know, like, yeah, kind of, I don't know. I was trying to figure out why and what he meant. Like, what does this character mean to the story?
It doesn't. And that's the thing. Like, Tony Cox is perfect in that role. We didn't need Silas to move over from the one side of the wardrobe to the other side of the wardrobe. We did not need that. It would have been funnier if Tony Cox had fought Silas or Islo.
I don't know though. I mean, didn't it kind of show that the white bitch like had power over like everybody? Like that whole whipping scene?
You're looking for plot in this?
I mean, maybe. Because of all of the characters that she could quite honestly get away with, you know, whipping and beating up, he's the best choice.
I
don't know. I guess maybe that's why they brought him over.
I find it funny though that the parody character with some of the most dialogue and most scenes in this film is an uncredited role. I have no idea if Kevin Hart's like, yeah, no. So, I'll take that down low on this. Or he's like, I don't want anything to do with this film.
Well, that and I mean, he looked nothing like Kevin Hart. Like, this is actually flooring information. I'm like, wow. Clearly the makeup and costume and wardrobe department, are get a 5-star on this because they did great.
Yeah, no, I was surprised to find it was him because you're right. It does. It looks nothing like him. And there's no identifiable kind of like it's funny when you realize who it is. Funniest, I think, when you realize who it is.
Mm-hmm.
I just prefer those kind of cameos, but I still can't believe it's him. I mean, it is what it is, and there he is. And now people are sitting there going, "Oh crap, it's Kevin Hart in this film." But yeah, but it's Kevin Hart. But is it really Kevin Hart? He says, knowing that it's actually Kevin Hart.
Maybe that was a move on his agent's part. Like, don't admit connection with this movie.
Just walk away.
Yeah.
Just walk away.
Uncredited.
All right. We've pretty much covered really everyone there is to cover in this film. But it's time to hand out our epic award that we hand out at the end of every episode. Not that they get anything because we have nothing to give away. But, Carrie, who is your MVP of epic movie?
Whew, that's a tough question because I think the actors really did their best.
You're stalling.
With the storyline.
Storyline.
Who was...
Are those quotation fingers around that word?
I enjoyed Captain Jack Sparrow.
Okay.
I'm going to go with that role. I know it's not one of the lead characters.
Daryl Hammond.
But he was funny, and I think he pulled off the perfect, like, Captain Jack Sparrow imitation or...
See, my MVP is also not one of the main characters.
Okay.
And it's also not Crispin Glover. No, my MVP is someone we haven't talked about yet. Well, briefly. Talked about him briefly. Harry Beaver.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And before you sit there and go, what the hell did he just say? Voiced by Cat Williams. Harry, I can't believe I'm sitting there and saying this, but the animatronic beaver in this is probably the best part of it because A, the animatronic beaver actually moves pretty damn good. Doesn't look like a bad prop or anything. It's not like a freaking Muppet or anything. It's actually a really well done beaver. I can't believe I just said that sentence, but here we are. But I love what they did with this character. Right? And it's a character. It drives plot, And I know you're sitting there going like, oh yeah, but I remember when Mr. Tumnus was making out with Harry Beaver, and I think those two are going to make it. And Hector Jimenez actually gets my shout out as a secondary runner-up for MVP. But no, I can't believe I'm saying this. My MVP is the Harry Beaver. Right now, people are like, go ahead, copy that one, make that their ringtone. My MVP is the Harry Beaver. There you go. Things I thought I'd never say, but yet after 3 years of this podcast, here we are.
Here we are.
And my MVP is the Harry Beaver. Dear God, what have we done? We have devolved. We've devolved. We've been around long enough when we sit there and go, oh dear God, that might be the dumbest thing I've ever said in my entire life. But don't worry, give us a few more episodes. I'm sure I'm going to say stupider somewhere down the road. Carrie, thank you so much for this epic choice of a film. And to you, our listeners, you guys know the drill. If there is a movie out there that you think is unfairly maligned or is just so bad that there is no way in Narnia that we can find anything good to say about it, hit us up on social media at NotThatBadcast or go to our website at NotThatBadcast.com. And while you're there, make sure you check out our Grading on a Curve page and get ready because at the end of February, the last Wednesday of February, we are dropping our 2025 Razzies Grading on a Curve special. I am not looking forward to watching the films that will be nominated, but we do this for you, our dear listeners, because we love you. Until next time, she's Carrie, I'm Jay. You guys are awesome. This is It's Not That Bad. a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network. Take care.
Hey, this is John Moses and Tyler Morrison from the Fight Stories podcast.
And we want to welcome everyone from Pantheon to check out the podcast that goes from pros to average Joes.
We got MMA champs, boxing champs, NHL tough guys, funniest comedians in the world, and of course, stories from guys like your drunk Uncle Tommy on Thanksgiving.
That's right, because we're the voice of the streets, and we want to hear from you guys, because what's better than hanging out with your crew and reliving the old glory days?
Stories like Rigby, who put that guy's head through a popcorn machine in front of his 5- and 6-year-old son while eating chicken wings at the bar.
It doesn't get any better than that. Everyone has a fight story. We want to hear yours.